I'm going to show you why it's important that men fight for their right to consume pornography and engage in sex acts because the women definitely do it. You try and take something away from women, they're out in the streets protesting, whereas men just hang their heads in shame. Now, what sparked me to make this video is some person here in my comment section left this anti-male comment. He said, most serial killers claim that pornography corrupted them. Well, dude, that's just them saying the devil made me do it. So he mentions Ted Bundy, convicted, right? Said that hardcore pornography had a crystallizing effect on his violent tendencies. So see, this is more pornography makes men violent and dehumanizes. He mentioned Dahmer and all these other villains, right? But when you try to take away that, in this case, face sitting from women, they show up in the streets in numbers and they have all kinds of male supporters, right? And look at the smiles on their faces. You see, they are proud, right? They don't hang their heads in shame. Now, when was this article written? 2014. That's a dozen years ago, right? And they're still trying to take pornography away from men. Now, look, in response to new regulations in UK porn, dozens of protesters met outside of Parliament today. See, these women, they get together in large numbers and they go right to Parliament, right? For sign holding, singing, and a whole lot of face sitting, right? It's something that they enjoy, that gives them pleasure, and see how they stand up for themselves. In case you missed it, the government made a bunch of amendments to the UK laws regarding pornography last week, and it was met with quite a bit of outrage. See, these women, they get outraged. Men hang their heads in shame. These women, seeing themselves as fully human and true blue citizens of the country, they fight for their rights. They don't hang their heads, right? Effectively, the changes banned a long list of sexual acts ranging from spanking and whipping, bizarrely face sitting, which was deemed to be life-endangering activity. Well, because the man might suffocate, right? Because you're always hearing about people dying from oral sex. Well, I'm always hearing how pornography causes men to turn into demons. So they're the last people to say this. And by the way, spanking and whipping, that's heavy into the BDSM. Women are heavy into BDSM. And the reason why BDSM has not disappeared, I bet in England too, is because so many women enjoy it. You don't take anything away from them, right? Now, I want to point out how this is actually anti-male, and the women try to claim it for their own victimhood, right? What really got people riled up, aside from the whole policing of people's sexuality and the right of consulting adults to have fun sexual times, was the fact that the new laws seem unfairly targeted at women's pleasure. It isn't, right? Female ejaculation, for example, is banned, but male ejaculation is not. They're not actually banning female ejaculation. They're banning the viewing of it. And why is this important? Because when a woman ejaculates, it's basically saying that this woman is turned on by a man. It's not that the men have a privilege, like you're allowed to ejaculate. It's because when men ejaculate, it says, I'm being turned on by a woman. And society wants that. But women, feminist women, do not want women showing pleasure by the sex act with a man. That's what's going on here. You have to think with your head and understand what these villains are all about. So again, and you'll notice too, everyone's photographing these girls. The police aren't coming in and beating these women up, are they? And these women have loads of male supporters. When these women come and and do their like sit out, even if though they're showing women, there are men in the backgrounds, dude. Men won't go out and protest for themselves, but they'll definitely support their female betters, right? Yeah. Because there's a guy saying, yep, I'm there to support whatever she wants. And notice this woman's in a bikini. Again, none of these women, as far as I know, were arrested for indecent exposure. They can come out and do whatever they want. If women decided that they were going to run around in bikinis from now on, society would allow it. Laws are for men alone. And hey, there's a woman. She's in a gimp mask, guys. So this isn't just for face sitting. She's into BDSM. She's into spanking and whipping. So of course they're talking about face sitting, particularly because it's supposedly harmless, but she's willing to defend the stuff that is not considered harmless, right? And I want to point out a couple of years ago that it was common for people to bash the gay pride parade, not for lesbians, but for gay men who got in dog costumes, right? See, all these guys were there, all these YouTubers were there to bash these guys. But this woman, the gimp mask, no one has a problem with her. So understand what's going on here. Now, guys have to get in line, stop being ashamed of our sexuality, and start fighting back. Especially the men of Britain. Like, you are living in an authoritarian hellhole, a feminist shithole. You guys should get your acts together and actually do what these British women did. See what they're doing? They're not taking second-class citizenry like you guys are. See those big smiles? They're happy. No matter how sick their fetish is, they're happy to say, yeah, I do it. What are you going to do about it? Right? And that's what men need to be doing. End of story.